They're so awesome.
They ham it up for the camera quite well.
It's so cool. I'm gonna make sure that it is working, that we're live somewhere.
It says we're live.
Yeah, no, I know it says live, but I always like when we see the comments, I like pulling it up like, okay, there she is. And plus the good thing is for the replay. So hello, anybody, if you're catching the replay, but luckily right now we are actually live. You can
awesome.
Yes, it's our now second live interview. And here, Maddie and Tawnie Surviving and Thriving, we have a very special guest, Rero, aka Captain Greentoker, here with us.
Hello, how is everyone today?
I'm doing good because I know I get to talk to you guys. So it was my, I rested up for this and I'm excited.
So did I. Rested in anticipation, now feeling excited and just happy to be spending this day with you guys.
I caught a minute of your guys' chat earlier, and I like the fact that you're going to have a word of the day for different languages.
Oh, I have to think of what that will be today. But yeah.
No, I got
that
a good idea. I got a good idea for a word.
You have a word of the day?
Yes, teach us.
Yeah, well, how to change a word from English to Spanish? Really easy.
Okay.
Please.
What is this? What is this?
A key?
In Spanish or in English?
In English, what is this?
A key.
That means here in Spanish.
Like aquí?
Yeah. See? You picked it up.
You're right. Aquí. A key.
Oh, that's so cool. That's
nice.
Such a fun little trick.
And it's a good way to put a connection in your brain so you don't forget it.
They always say that associating words with something, helps you remember it better. So if you can have that association.
So
that's awesome.
So then I guess the word of the day is key in here.
I think so. I'm good with that. I think that's a great word of the day.
And I like how you said to make the connection so that you remember it, because that's my problem. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had no choice but to learn Spanish. It's actually kind of my first language, even though I was born in America.
How was it your first language?
My grandmother didn't speak English, so I was brought up speaking Spanish.
Where's your grandmother from?
She is from Tamaulipas, Mexico.
And
my grandfather's from Mexico, and they came here before my parents were born, before any of my uncles were born. My grandmother was half American, so she didn't have a problem coming over, and I think my grandfather was born here, if I'm not mistaken. And so I forgot where I was going with this.
So you're bilingual, Spanish and English.
Oh, so yeah, so my grandma didn't speak any English, God rest her soul. And growing up, I had to handle all the adult business because I had to translate for her. It was what did he say? What did she say? I handled everything from paying the gas. I mean, she did everything, but I would say things, and I learned how people would try to swindle people at a young age that way. And it kind of made me very street smart.
I bet.
Now, Maddie, I had a couple questions for you because my left hand and your left hand are very similar. I was wondering about some of the electronic things you were in your videos that you put on.
Yes, that I used to help retrain my hand.
Yeah, because I was born this way, and doctors back then really didn't know anything, so I didn't get much help. So I was curious to some of these things. I've never seen them before.
So do you have problems with spasticity, tone, and just not being able to functionally use your hand as much?
Yeah. Well, I've developed over the years the ability, but here's my right hand, and here is my left hand. So it's I would say the things that got me to develop the most dexterity were things that I wasn't even trying, like swimming. I did yoga and Pilates. That stuff, like when I first started doing that stuff, I was about to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Can we go back to like what your diet? So I know some people would be
okay.
Like, wait.
Yeah, when you were born.
Okay, yeah. This is what happened. As far as I know, when I was born, I didn't have oxygen for 10 minutes. I was basically born dead. And so my brain was deprived of oxygen for 10 minutes. And I guess I came to everything was fine up until I started to become mobile, maybe at like 3 or 4 months old. And my mom told the doctor that I would hold my left hand back and I would only use my right. And they diagnosed me with cerebral palsy at birth.
Is it cerebral palsy?
That's what I was diagnosed with. But I also had a doctor that said I had a stroke at birth and that there's difference. But the official diagnosis is partial cerebral palsy.
Partial. Is it spastic cerebral palsy?
Is it what?
Spastic?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't deal with doctors as much as you guys. like when I was a kid, I had to go through physical therapy and things. Sure. And I felt that these people didn't really understand. And I kind of went through a self-neglect period where I got really unhealthy. And there was a point where I fell and tripped and got my leg stuck in a chain. And for a while after that, I was walking everywhere with a cane. And I was getting worse to the point where I went to a doctor and they told me that if I didn't do something, that I was going to end up in a wheelchair. What? And once I got there, I wasn't going to get out. So
what did you have to do?
Yeah,
they started like doing physical therapy with me at the hospital for maybe a month or so, and I progressed past what they could provide me. So they gave me a prescription to the Y, so I could go to the Y for free. And that's really where I really progressed to the point where I was almost like Superman. Like the first time I went there, I did 2 laps in the pool. Thought I was gonna drown, and so did the lifeguard. It was funny. And well, I mean, I did 2 laps and got out, but I was wore out. But I smoked like a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. I was up all night every night. Well, I worked in a bar part-time, so I was always at a bar. I wasn't very healthy at all. But I knew I was going to push myself every day to the point of exhaustion until I saw changes. And like that first week was really hard. Like I thought I was going to die. And I wanted to go at as early as possible when I thought nobody I knew would be there. So
to the Y,
working out. Yeah, to the Y. I started working out there, and then one day I wanted to try pool classes. And it's this group of little old ladies that do these like water aerobics.
That's my grandma does
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Like these little old ladies, they encourage me beyond belief.
That's amazing.
Like I started out in the pool doing classes all day, and then one day out of the blue, one of them was like, "Come up and do Pilates," and I was like, "Sure." You know, I don't got nothing else to do, so I went up there, and this, pardon my French, this kicked my ass.
It's no joke.
and these little old ladies from like 70 to 85, they were doing these positions so fluidly.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm looking around like, oh my God, am I the only one that's sweating? And and like they're doing downward dog and warrior poses and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I can't let these old ladies show me up.
Yeah, that's hard though.
Yeah. So they kind of encouraged me to keep going, and they would notice my progression before I did most of the time. Like they would compliment my left side before like I even noticed, and like I would go to different classes. They encouraged me to the point where I was doing like 5 or 6 exercise classes a day, and they weren't all
insane. That's good.
Yeah.
And Pilates, like, wow.
Yeah, they weren't all like easy classes. They were like boot camp and step and like I turned at this point. This is like when I was almost like Superman. Like they actually gave me a job as a personal trainer, and like if you get a chance to do silver sneakers, Maddie.
What's silver sneakers?
They're classes for old people so that they keep their mobility. And this is where I gained a lot of mobility that I did not know I was able to do. Because they do things like practicing opening jars and like
I feel like
to finger and like I never had none of this in like the therapies I'd go for. They always wanted me to like tie my right arm behind my back and do everything with my left. That didn't work for me.
Brief interruption. How do you type to respond to the messages? I was gonna type and say hi to everyone who's joined, but I don't know how to do that.
It's so
private
weird.
chat?
No, because usually it shows up. That's why I wanted to pull it up on the side, because for some reason, like, you should be able to comment. Oh, there. So Peggy's there. Hi. See, it's so weird.
I don't know if I can respond to the comments, but hi.
You can, because usually, so when I've been doing it, you can feature their comment, but I don't know when we have multiple people. Like, I don't see anything.
Oh, because you just says, how did you just write something?
I used my actual phone.
Oh,
yeah.
Tawnie Romero
I'm on a phone, and it's like right at the bottom. It says private chat.
But private chat won't see everyone. But what's weird is I've been using it is usually, and Peggy and my Mers who are on, usually I can get your comment like on the iPad is where I'm filming. I would be able to show their comment up right here. I don't know why it's not letting us.
That's I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure
I don't know how to respond, but hello,
I have it over here. So you respond here, and I can respond like writing it. What?
People seem to love the pirate with the birds.
Oh, I get that everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And these birds are hams for attention. They're very quiet and docile right now. They're playing I'm a dumb bird, but these birds are smarter than most birds you'll ever meet.
I'm going to get a picture now that we have the birds in it.
Here you go.
No.
Oh, yes.
Capri.
With the bird. Perfect. Anyways, I think that's so cool that you were doing that. Or do you still do these classes? I think that's a great way to.
No, the local Y is closed. I wish I did, because what I really need to get started for myself is a pool, because you get 30% greater motion in a pool, and I love to swim.
I say that about swimming. It's like great rehab.
It is. I would totally, because like your left side doesn't have to keep up with your right side to make great progression in a pool. So it just kind of lets your left side do what it does and catch up on its own, and before you know it, you're swimming laps. Like,
well, how is your swimming now?
My swimming, I was a registered lifeguard for 4 years.
Wow.
So cool. Especially to hear where you came from. So like, it's very interesting for me, because I interviewed him we had our live this Wednesday, but we didn't talk about any of this. We got to play with the birds, and we talked now. So to see all that you were doing and are doing and hear where you came is just that much more inspiring. And I'm really glad that you said the silver
The Silver
I know-
Sneakers. I want to look
I know
into
that that might be closed right now, but being creative in your rehab is like finding, you know, older people, they have to learn and work on things would be a better avenue to